My name is Shay Daly, and I'm here to persuade you that supervised injection sites are a better alternative for Denver. The opiate epidemic has become a health crisis in Colorado. Every 9 hours and 36 minutes, a fatal overdose occurs in our beautiful state. Supervised injection sites can offer Coloradoans less public nuisance, reduce Hep C, HIV risk behavior, and give addicts a solid, trustworthy resource to seek treatment when ready. Most of all, decrease the number of fatal overdoses. It's a common belief that supervised injection sites must be ran by some sinister organization who just likes to use with no consequences. This turns out we were wrong. These organizations do not condone drug use. They simply try to reduce the harm associated with the lifestyle due to IV drug use. IV drug users are usually always homeless, and if you're homeless, you're going to find a public restroom to shoot up in. Unfortunately, these are not just unsanitary conditions for the users, but also for the public at large. The worst part is the addicts often die alone in these restrooms. In a CPR News article, the Denver Public Library, with its already rising problem with overdoses in their bathrooms, are the first library in the U.S. to have their staff carry Narcan on hand to administer when needed. I am a Denver native myself, and I have been prompted into this issue from good-natured friends of mine that have died due to this drug crisis many professionals call a disease. If this problem is in fact a disease, there is no cure for it, and the statistics show it is only getting worse. Denver is a forward-looking city, and we must prepare for the future, and harm reduction centers are doing just that. These harm reduction organizations are public health servants that specialize in keeping drug addicts and the public safe from harmful effects caused by IV drug use, or that IV drug use is synonymous with. If we can get these drug addicts out of the underground scene that they inject in and into a SIDS, they can use in a safer environment, but most of all, lives will be saved and addiction treatment will be available when the addict is ready. Vancouver, Canada is home to one of over 90 worldwide supervised injection sites called Insight, and they have reported high positive outcomes from their strategy. Through my research, I have found 3 big reasons supervised injection sites should be implemented in Colorado, starting with less public nuisances due to lack of supervision, treatment available from a trustworthy source, decreased fatal overdoses, and decreased Hep C HIV transmission. Let's examine the public nuisances caused by IV drug users. IV drug users choose public restrooms due to its privacy, leaving blood splatter on service areas which could transmit to an innocent bystander. They are more likely also to discard needles and paraphernalia in open places due to lack of supervision. When drug addicts are forced to use outside, they leave drug baggies and needles in an attempt to evade police prosecution if discovered. Soon after the Vancouver injection site opened in 2004, there was a study and found a significant decrease in discarded paraphernalia in public usage. This would mean cleaner streets and public restrooms in Colorado. Now let's take a look at how supervised injection sites will get more IV drug users to seek treatment on their own. Many IV drug addicts do not have any affiliation with resources that could potentially help them into a treatment facility. The underground scene IV users live in have serious mental issues like bipolar, schizophrenia, depression, anxiety, and a profound fear of people, which makes it really hard to contact them for possible treatment and very hard to gain their trust. The Vancouver site also directly linked to a rise in IV users going to detoxification programs. According to an article by British Columbia Center for Excellence in HIV/AIDS, the monthly average of IV users entering detox facilities rose from 216 to 313. That is approximately a 30% rise in users seeking treatment. Taking a look at fatal drug overdoses and Hep C transmission due to unsupervised IV drug use. Now, keeping in mind every 9.5 hours someone dies from an overdose in Colorado alone. IV users are driven into an illegal underground scene. When overdoses occur, addicts are likely to leave the friend for dead out of fear of police prosecution if found by the police. Users are more likely to share contaminated needles out of desperateness if no clean needles are available. Addicts find areas also to hide where they cannot be found to use, causing no hope of Narcan administration if overdoses occur. In Vancouver, a study was done in 2006 in one of their supervised injection facilities and found for every 1,000 injections there were 1.33 overdoses. And if their use was not supervised, likely it would have ended fatally. The Vancouver injection site has not seen one fatal overdose due to its supervision. So, the war on drugs started in the mid-'80s. Just Say No did not work. This is 2019. Drug addiction is a disease and a public health crisis, not a moral one. More drug courts are being implemented because of this health crisis realization. The body count is getting too high for us not to seek the above strategy that has been proven to have real positive outcomes. The goal of a supervised injection site is absolutely not to enable drug addicts to use with no consequences. The consequences are still going to be there, but the CIS can reduce the harm to them and the public. And most of all, when the consequences get bad enough and the addict is ready to seek help on their own, the CIS will be pleased to refer them to options for treatment. The fact of the matter is, if the supervised injection sites are not here, the drug crisis still will be. People hold values also that using drugs is bad, which we should keep, but we should not turn our backs to the point where so many people are dying. The question isn't anymore, will supervised injection sites save lives? We know it will. The question is do we get to pick and choose which sick people get to live and which sick people get to die? Thank you.